The music, the monsters, the mayhem. The Village Halloween Parade gets ghoulish along the streets of Manhattan, but this frenzy of fun has its beginnings in a most unlikely place. Rokeby Farm, a mansion in upstate New York built by the Astors in 1816, is home to Superior Concept Monsters, creator of the centerpieces for each year's parade. The construction and dress rehearsal of these pieces is part of the parade that few get a chance to see.
We're bringing, I would say, a couple of hundred puppets to the Village Halloween Parade this year.
Sophia Michaelis and Alex Kahn are master designers for this year's, the 28th annual Halloween Parade.
The size of the puppets that we're bringing varies. They can be very small puppets on the end of long bamboo poles. For example, we have a swarm of bats that are coming, and so they're one-person puppets on poles. Or a larger puppet is the giant phoenix, which takes 7 people to run it, and it's a little over 20 feet long and about 20 feet wide.
The puppets are built over many months by dozens of craftspeople, and this past weekend they were finally moved out of the Great Barn so that volunteers could stage a dress rehearsal for Wednesday night's performance.
We really want children to be able to be part of our volunteers. We want people that don't have strong backs or aren't really ready for that kind of physical endurance. So on our volunteer form, we actually allow people to specify small, medium, large, or mammoth.
Anyone can march in the parade or even volunteer to operate a puppet simply by showing up in costume at 6th Avenue and Spring Street between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m.
There's an estimate of 30,000 to 40,000 marchers and 2 million spectators.
The Village Halloween Parade is the 6th largest tourist attraction in New York, generating over $60 million for local businesses. Jean Fleming has been the organizer of the event since 1980.
In the Obie Award, where they said it was the largest theatrical event in New York City, and certainly the best. It's a mile-long stage.
Many of us have the difficult task of choosing a costume for ourselves and perhaps a child or two. However, each year Jean picks the outfit for the entire city of New York by establishing the parade's theme.
When the events of 9/11 occurred, we began to think as a group of artists, well, what do we do now? We are living in a different world. We're living in a different environment. How do we respond to this?
The theme for 2001 revolved around the Russian myth of Baba Yaga, the old hag who eats young children and grinds their bones with her giant mortar. After September 11th, however, the organizers revamped their plans to make the phoenix the theme for this year's parade.
And that symbol is the mythic bird, the phoenix, that rises out of its own ashes to be reborn again. That is the perfect symbol for what it is that we need to do right now in New York and in the country.
The phoenix is flying up 6th Avenue from the point where before the Twin Towers would have stood as the backdrop for the parade to solidify the sense of rebuilding and rebirth of New York City.